Hello, welcome to our first card tutorial. My name is Demi Yewoliga, a level 300 biomedical engineering student, and I'll be taking you through the basics of card modeling. I'll also be taking you through the relations, general overview of the Solidworks window, modeling basic parts like pulley, the brackets, the pipe, and others. We'll also be talking about the usage of the various basic features like extruded bars, revolve bars, extruded cards, revolve cards. We'll also be talking about the sweep too. Okay. The last thing we'll be talking about will be the fillet and the chamfer. I mean, for the first tutorial, we'll also be talking about the use of the screws, right? So these are what we are going to, the things we are going to talk about today. I'll be talking about assembly and then drawing in the next video. So I've already opened my SolidWorks application. So this is my window, right? And I'm sure for the exams you go and meet such a window there. If not, you let's start. I mean, let me close mine, then we reopen it, and then we start. Okay. So this is my SolidWorks shortcut. I have a lot of desktop shortcuts or icons on my window. It's fine. So I double clicked and then I'm launching my SolidWorks window. Forget about this. This is just an error that I get from my software. I don't think it's happening to you. No, I don't know why, but it's just an error. When I click OK, it opens. Nothing. Okay, so I don't think you will get a window like this. I've been working on many parts and models. That's why I got a window like this. For your window, it will be just the part assembly and then the drawing. You wouldn't get recent documents like this. I don't know, but if you get recent documents, it wouldn't be any confusing. So with this, you can just open a new part by clicking on this part there. You can just double click and then it will open a new part. You can double click on assembly if you want to open an assembly, and then it will open an assembly window for you. When you double click on the drawing, it will also open the drawing window for you. But just in case you mistakenly close this window, it's fine. You can just go to file, then you click on new, and then this window will pop up telling you to choose the window you want to open. So you can choose between part, assembly, and the drawing. We are going to deal with part today. So I'll click on part. Part is already selected, and then I'll click on OK. So the SolidWorks window for the part modeling opens up. This window is different from the window for the assembly, and it is also different for the window with what drawing. Okay, so we already know what we are going to talk about today. So let's start. There are some basic things you need to know about SolidWorks and card modeling. First, you need to know what all these toolbars are and their usage. Okay, so the first toolbar you see is called the standard toolbar. I mean, from the far to the settings app or options app icon. Okay, and then the one below that is called the command manager. Okay, we'll talk more about them. This one here, the one on your left, the one that has been docked on your left, there is place up to this place on your left is called the feature manager design tree. The empty space here where I'm moving my cursor to is called the graphics or working area. And then these things on your right, this one is called the task pane. Okay, you get to know about the usage too. And then the last thing you need to know, this one's here containing the zoom in, zoom out, perspective view, and others. Okay, this is called the heads up view toolbar. Okay, heads up view toolbar, the feature manager design tree, the command manager, the standard toolbar, the task pane, the graphics or working area. So now you know your interface. Okay, that's the first thing you need to know. The next thing you need to know is you need to know the usage of all those toolbars. Okay, so let's start with the feature manager. Here you find the planes. Okay, these are more like views. So we have the front plane, the top plane, and the right plane. Okay, basically front plane means facing front, right? Your front side. The top plane means the top side, and then the right plane means the right hand side. We can see that we do not have back, bottom, and then let's say left. Okay, let's say those are negative planes. You can just add them. You can add them using some commands which we will talk about, because you'll be needing them. You'll be needing to create planes. Okay, you'll be needing to create planes. Okay, so the front plane, the top plane, and the right plane. When you put your cursor around the front plane, a preview shows up. Okay, and with that, you cannot draw on the front plane like this. You need to make it normal. Making it normal means making it what, in a way that it is facing you, lying down in a flat way to be able to draw. Okay, so when I click on the front plane like this, these um this one pop-ups. It's more like a set of commands that pops up. We have a sketch, normal to, the zoom to selection, and we have the show. Okay, that's if you want to hide the plane. The plane by default are hidden. Okay, so if you want to show the plane, you click on show. If you want to hide them, you hide them. Okay, so that's it. By default, all the planes are hidden. Okay, that's it. So let's click on the front plane, and then we want the front plane to be ready for what? Sketching. You just don't go straight to what? Sketch. You can do that though, but it's better to learn the right way. You click on normal to. This button here means, this icon means normal to, and then we can see how the plane just turned to face us. With this, you can draw, right? Okay. So the top plane, with the top plane too, let's try with a sketch. We are not going to use the normal tool. Let's use the sketch. So top plane and then sketch, right? Okay. Right plane, normal tool. Both options work. Both work. Okay. That's it. Um. So with this feature manager, it's going to display all the commands, whatever feature you have used, the sketches, okay, and everything. That's what is below. It has been divided into two. Okay, so below the origin, there's a line there, and then below that line, that horizontal line, it will be displaying whatever you do. We click on sketch for the right plane, or I think the top plane. So the sketch command just popped up there. Okay, you can delete it. um we are not going to sketch, so let's come here and then click on the cancel, then discard. Okay, it gets out of here. You can check from the feature manager, the sketch is no more there, right? Good. So the good thing about using the normal tool instead of the sketch is that with the normal tool, it could be that you just wanted to view your model or your sketch in that normal to view, or I mean that view that will make you see the plane in the front way. You are seeing the plane is facing you. You wanted to view the model that way. you want the model to face you. Okay, you just wanted to view the model that way. So that one you use the normal tool. But when you click on sketch, immediately you click on sketch, you are telling the software that you are about to sketch something on the front plane. Though it will make the plane normal too, but it will open a sketch. Okay, so when you check under the origin, the line below the horizontal line, you can see that the sketch appears there, and then this is sketch 2 because we already deleted one sketch and that was sketch 1. Solidworks keeps track of those sketches and then parts. Okay, so let's cancel this card. So mostly if you just want to view, you just want the plane to face you, just use the normal tool before trying to use a sketch. Okay, so normal tool, that's what we are using, right? So now we know what the feature manager design tree entails. Let's go to the command manager. Another important, let's say, feature or toolbar you can see in your SolidWorks interface. Okay, yes. So this contains all the features you will be using in your design and modeling. The extruded boss, which you already know, revolve boss, swept, extruded cut, hole wizard, lufted cut, okay, the fillet, linear pattern, the rib feature, the shell feature, the wrap. I don't think you have worked with wrap and then shell, okay. So with this, when you look under, you can see that there are many options, or I mean tabs. This is for the features, okay. This is features, and then this is sketch. With this, you get with a sketch, you are going to get features that will allow you to be able to draw, to be able to sketch. But with the features, you are going to get commands that are going to help you add features to your sketch. So you sketch before you add feature. So you sketch before adding a feature. Okay. Most of the features here are I mean they are blanked out or oh, shit, shit. So we can see that most of the features here are faded out. This is because we haven't yet made a sketch that is compatible with those features, okay? And always the student boss and the revolve boss mostly it's okay, it's always like this, but sometimes it's also faded out, okay? So we know what the features contains. Now the sketch, okay? So with sketch, that's where you're going to see your smart dimension. This is a tool that you are going to use for dimensioning. And dimension is one of the most important things you need to know as a CAD student. You need to dimension all your sketches. And your dimensions need to be what? Correct. Okay? If your dimensions are underdefined, your sketch is underdefined. If your dimensions are overdefined, your sketch is overdefined. And you'll get to understand what I mean by underdefined and then overdefined as time goes on. Okay. So here you are going to see the line to the circle, the spline, the center rectangle. This is just a rectangle. Okay. When you click on the arrow, you can see that there's an arrow beside it. When you click on the arrow, you get different types of rectangles. Okay, the corner rectangle, center rectangle. You are going to be using the corner and the center rectangle. You are not going to use those other three rectangles. Okay, then this is the center point arc, the tangent arc, and the 3-point arc. So this is basically an arc. Okay, and this is an ellipse. This is a straight slot, and this is a polygon. Right here, you can choose the number of sizes. Okay, so with a polygon with, let's say, 4 sizes, you know, is what a square. With 5, you know what it is, pentagon. With 6, hexa, that's it. So you can what, choose a number and then it will just draw that polygon for you. Okay, I don't think we'll be using that too, right? So here you also see the trim entities. You need to keep track of all these. Here you see the trim entities, convert entities, offsets on surface. You are not going to use offsets, but you are going to make use of trim entities. It's a very important um sketch feature. Okay, forget about all the other things here, mesh modeling, data migration. You are not going to use them. So as a level 100 student or level 100 car student, you're only going to deal with features and then sketch. Features and then sketch, right? Okay. And then this plane, the task pane. Well, you can apply a material here, but I don't think your lecturer showed you this way. So with this task pane, you can apply a material, you can explore for files. This is a design library, and you can go to the Solidworks resources. So this is just the basics. You know what the working area is used for. This is where all the drawing is going to take place. Okay, so that's right. So let's start sketching something. Okay, let's start sketching something. The first thing you need to know is which plane do I want to start my sketch from? Which plane do I want to start my sketch from? Okay, so I just want to draw a cuboid. Okay, a cuboid. And with that, I want to start on the front plane. Okay, so I click on the front plane, I click on sketch, and then this origin appears. This is called the origin, the red horizontal and then vertical line with arrows. This is called the origin. Okay, so I want to draw a cuboid. I'll go to the sketch. Let's say I was on the features tab. I'll just switch to sketch, and then this is rectangle. I right click on the arrow, then I can choose the type of rectangle that I want, either a corner rectangle or a center rectangle. With the cuboid, I'll be using center rectangle, so I will click on the center rectangle, put my pencil on this what center, and then you can see that there's a circle appearing there. Then you click drag out. When you drag out, you can just move it to the right, to the top, downwards, just to position your cuboid. Okay, it's a rectangle that you are drawing. You can make it a square, but with that you're going to use smart dimension to do that. So this is my cuboid. I release, and my pencil is still on. I want to get rid of the pencil. What do? I just click on the OK here, and then that's it. Okay, the pencil is gone. Okay, the pencil is gone. So this is my sketch. This is what I'm going to use to make the cuboid. Okay, so this is just a mere sketch. This is a mere sketch, just one plane, and I drew it on the front plane. So this is my front plane. All right, so it's a mere sketch and I drew it on the front plane. Now I want to form a cuboid out of this sketch. How do I do that? That's where we are going to use the extruded boss feature. Okay, so now I select my sketch. Here your sketch is not here selected, so you click on this and then that's it. So now you click on a sketch, go to the extruded boss feature, you click on it, and automatically a preview appears. Okay, a preview appears. This is because you selected your sketch even before clicking on the extruded boss. Let's see what would have happened if I didn't click on the sketch first. So let's say I didn't click on the sketch, it was just like this, and I clicked on the extruded boss feature. You see what comes here? There's an error message telling you that you haven't selected a plane and you have not also selected a sketch. So you always have to select the sketch before applying the feature. So you can just select the sketch from the feature manager. So you select this, it is sketch 3. It's done selecting. I go to the student boss feature, and then this menu for the student boss feature appears. You do not have any I mean duty to do here apart from determining or what inputting your dimension and then changing maybe direction or the type of extrusion that you want. With here, when you click on this, you see that we have up to vertex, up to surface, made plane, up to body. You'll be using blind mostly, and then once in a while you'll be using made plane. We'll talk about that too. You'll be using made plane once in a while. So by default, it's always selected. Blind is always selected. So this is where you are going to choose the extrusion length. This is the extrusion length. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. One thing I forgot. One of the most important things you need to do is to check your units. I forgot. So you check your units first. Sorry. This is how to check your units. This is called the options or the settings icon. Okay. So when you click on this arrow here, you go to options. This window pops up, and you can see system options and it's document properties. So you click on the document properties, and then this appears. You can search through, you can see units. Okay, units. So you click on the units, and then you make sure that the specified unit on your paper is what you have selected here. So if on the paper you are told to be using millimeter, grams, and then seconds, you have to choose this. But if you are told to use the IPS, the inch, the pound, the second, that means that the default that Solidworks selects for you. But you need to recheck and make sure that the right unit has been selected even before you start your sketch. Okay. So with this, we are using the IPS, the inch, the pound, and then the second. So let's go back. Select our sketch, extruded boss. Now extrusion length. Let's extrude this by 2 inches. No, 2 inches is too much. Let's say 1.2. Okay, 1.2, and then you can see that there's a preview. This is just a preview, but when I click on this OK here, or the correct OK, the feature applies to the sketch. So the feature has been applied to the sketch. And how am I even rotating this? How am I rotating this? I'm using an external mouse. So you use the scroll wheel. You click on it, and then the mouse button turns toward the rotate. Alternatively, you can just right click on your working area, and then you choose what rotate view. So your mouse button, which is selected by default, the main or the default button is select. This is a select. Okay, this is select button. So when you right click, you can choose rotate view, and then you can rotate your model. If you don't want to use mouse wheel the mouse screw wheel, okay, you can also use pan is more like moving it, okay, moving it. So pan, just moving it, okay. And then the roll wheel, it's more like rolling it, taking it up, down. You are not rotating it. It's more like rolling, okay? Something like this. You cannot rotate it. It's just rolling, moving one side. But with the rotate, you can rotate it top, up, left, right, any other view you want, okay? Okay, so let's keep it this way. Let's keep it this way. Right click and then select back to our select or our default mouse pointer. Okay, so this is my keyboard and I use the extruded boss to get this keyboard. First, you need a sketch. Then you apply a feature to the sketch. So initially, when you check the feature manager, without applying the feature, we saw just a sketch there. But now it has been replaced by the feature, which is the boss extrude. We haven't lost the sketch yet. You can still make changes to the sketch, right? You can still make changes to the sketch. How do you do that? Click on this arrow here on the left of the feature, and then you can see that the sketch is what here. You can just click on the sketch, and then this window pops up. Click on edit sketch, and then you can edit your sketch. So now let's edit our sketch. Let's add dimensions. So click on the sketch, smart dimension, make sure it's selected. So you click on sketch, make sure your dimension is selected, smart dimension is selected, and then the mouse pointer will change to this arrow. Okay, so you move to this line, the top line, and then it will what? Change to what? Yellow. Click on it and then drag it up. So you click and then drag it up to apply your what? Dimension. Release it. Okay, and then this window pops up. If it doesn't pop up, I'll show you how to apply your dimension. So you type your dimension. What length do you want your cuboid to be? Let's say 5. So 5 has been applied. So in case you place your dimension and then that window didn't pop up, you can just come here to your left hand side and then you can choose, you can type input the dimension here 5. That's right. Then after applying the dimension, just click on what? The close dialog. So we have applied our dimension to the top side. Now that one is for the length of the cuboid. Now what about the height? You click on the smart dimension, move your mouse pointer to this line, the vertical line. It can be the one on the left or the one on the right, any of them. Okay, so you click and then you drag your smart dimension to your right. You release by clicking and then you type in your length or your height. Let's say I want the height to be 3, so type 3. You can just press enter or you click on OK. So now the dimension has been applied. Now I have a dimension for my length and a dimension for my height, and that's one thing you need to do. That's one most important thing you need to do when you are sketching in SolidWorks. You apply what dimensions so that in case in future you want to make any changes to your sketch, it wouldn't be difficult. Okay, if initially you didn't apply a dimension to this and you have made a lot of changes or I mean added a lot of features to this simple keyboard, making changes to the original keyboard is going to be difficult. Okay, it's going to be very difficult. So always make sure that you add your dimension before proceeding with anything else. Okay, so when you want to apply the dimension or to apply your editing, you just click on this button here. It's more like a cool sketch. Okay, so you click on it and then that's it. So this is now my new keyboard after applying the dimension. Okay, this is now how it looks like after applying the dimension. So this is the extruded boss feature. extruded boss feature. Extrude, to pull out, to extrude. Okay. So let's do something here. Let's talk about the mid plane extrusion feature. So I can delete this feature by going to my feature manager, clicking on the feature, right click, and then click on delete. Click on yes, and then my feature has been deleted, leaving my sketch. I only deleted the feature, I didn't delete the sketch. So I have my sketch here. I'll select it, go to the extruded boss feature, and then here we're not going to use blind. Check the working area. The preview will show there. So I'm going to make some changes here. Make sure you are following and you see what I'm talking about. We are not using blind. With blind, you are just moving or extruding in just one direction. Okay, so let's change the direction first. The direction is moving to the left. To me, it's to the left. I don't know to you. It's to the left here. So if I want to change the direction, you can see that there's something here on the left of the blind button or the blind tool. You just click on it and the direction has been diverted to what? The opposite side. Okay, click it and then it's back. Okay, so let's leave it this way and then change the extrusion option. Change it to mid plane. Did you see what is happening there? Go to blind, change it to mid plane. Mid plane is more like extruding from both sides. So if my extrusion length is 2, the feature will extrude my boss to the left by 1 inch and then to the right by 1 inch, making it 2. Okay. So if I want it to be 2 on the left, 2 on the right, I'll type in 4 and it will extrude 2 on the left, 2 on the right. This is what the mid plane is used for. This is what the mid plane is used for. Okay. With a blind, you just extrude to one side, but with a mid plane, you extrude to both sides. Good. So it's fine. I used to so 2 and then blind and then okay. So this is it. Okay, this is it. Now let's talk about the extruded cut. Now let's talk about the extruded cut feature. Okay, so the extruded cut is used for cutting. Okay, you draw a sketch and then you cut using that sketch. Okay, so with that, you need to select a face that you want to apply the cut. So let's say I want to cut a hole here, a circular hole here. I'll just select this face and then this window pops up. I'll click on sketch to make it normal too. Good. It just turned to face me to make making my what sketch easier, right? Okay. So now I want to sketch what a circular shape there, and then I'll cut that circular shape. So you go to your sketch, select your circle, and then the, the pointer changes to what? A pencil. Move to the face, click, drag. Just drag to apply. Later we are going to apply dimension. Okay, so drag and then you can click on the correct here and then that's it. Now we are applying dimension. So now I click on the smart dimension. So when you drag like this and you're applying the dimension. Okay, you're applying the dimension. You can see is the diameter. When you move inside, you can see this is the diameter. Okay, the diameter, right? The diameter. Half of the diameter is the radius. This is the diameter. So we move it here I can make it this way, I can make it this way. Okay, so I'll release by clicking, type my diameter. Let's use 0.3. Click on enter and then it has been applied. Now click on your correct on your left and then click on this to apply the sketch. And now the sketch has automatically been selected, right? If it wasn't automatically selected, you can just click on sketch. If it wasn't automatically selected, you can just click on sketch from your features manager and then it has been selected. Now we want to apply an extruded cut to that. So let's rotate it. I'm using my mouse. So click on extruded cut and then the extruded cut menu appears on your left. Now the preview appears and then automatically by default, I don't know, I use the extruded feature, the extruded boss feature. The length was 2, so automatically the extruded cut also became 2. That's why. So now here you can type in your extrusion length, the cut. So I type in 5 and you can see the length or where the extrusion has gotten to. But if you don't want to waste time typing in the length here, you just want to apply the cut through all. So you come here, click on the blind, and then you select through all. Right? You didn't see what happened because I've already, typed in 5. So let's go back, blind. Let's type in 2. Okay, so you can see from the working area the cut length, the extrusion cut length. So now click on blind, then through all. Then you have seen where the length is. Okay, this is where the cut is going to end. So click on OK, and you can see that the cut has been applied and it is through all. You can see the hole from the other side. This is the through all feature. What about the blind? With the blind, so let's go back, edit. Let's click on the cut feature, right click, click on edit feature. You can make changes to the feature. So that's how you can make changes to any feature that you have applied to your model. So I don't want it to be through all. I want it to get up to the mid plane, or let's say to the mid, the middle part. So let's go to blind. Let's say I want it to extrude to a length of about 2 inches. So I click on 2, click on OK, and then the cut has been applied from this end. But the extrusion did not get to this part because I typed in 2, and then 2 was just around this side, right? So the extrusion moves inside up to that part only. And that's what the blind cut extrude feature is used for. Okay, so now I know the true or and then the cut extrude are the blind. Okay, so that's it. All right. And then mid plane. I can't use this to I can't use the mid plane to make a cut using this sketch. Okay, the mid plane also works the same way like how the extruded base or the extruded boss mid plane work, like more like cutting from both ends. The blind cuts from one end, so we cut from both ends, and then you can change the direction of the cut too. You can change the direction of the cut. So as I was saying, you can change the direction of the cut. Okay, so let's go to edit, right click on the feature, edit feature, and then we can use this tool or this button to change the direction, and then you can see the direction. There's no box here to cut to that end, so it wouldn't, when you click on the OK, I think it will be an error. You see, there's an error but there's nothing to cut there. So we change the direction, click on OK. That's it. So we have been able to apply a cut here. Okay, this is a blind cut about 2 inches. Yes, a blind cut. So this is basically what the extruded cut feature does. So it depends on the shape. Okay, so if I make a rectangular shape, it will cut the hole in the shape of rectangle. If I make a straight slot shape, it will cut in the form of a straight slot. If I make it in the form of an ellipse, it will cut in the form of an ellipse. Right. So, so basically, this is what you need to know about extruded boss and then extruded cut. We will be using this mostly. We'll be using this. Okay. Okay. So let's apply some fillet and then chamfer. And then after that, we move to linear pattern. So after moving to linear pattern, I think that would be enough for us to start modeling some basic parts like the pulley, the bracket, and the pipe, right? I haven't talked about the pipe yet because we'll be using the swept, okay, or the sweep, sweep or the swept boss, right? So let's apply some fillet. So when you go to the features, you can see fillet here, and when you go to sketch, you can also see fillet there. This is a fillet, but because we have already applied the feature, that one is graded out. The fillet here is graded out. You can see sketch fillet. When you click on this arrow, drop down arrow, chamfer will also be there, but it is graded out because we have already applied a feature. So you can apply the fillet to the sketch, and you can also apply the fillet or the chamfer to the feature, or an extrusion or whatever. Okay. So now we have applied our feature. So let's see how we're going to apply the fillet to this feature. So I click on the fillet, and then the fillet menu, or let's say a toolbar appears on the left, and then the fillet type. Okay, this is the default, and this is what you are going to use mostly. This is the fillet type. So now I want to apply the fillet to this side. So this is items to fillet. It's highlighted. So you come to your working area, and then you click on where you want the fillet to be applied. So I want the fillet to apply to this. You can see the preview. If the preview is not showing, you can just click on this side. You see, this is called show full preview. You can go to no preview. There's no preview. So maybe for yours, by default, the no preview was selected. You can just come here and then click on full preview, and you can see the preview. It's always good to see how your feature will look like before applying it. It's always the right thing to do. So we want to apply a fillet here, another fillet here, and then another one here. Okay, so after applying, selecting all the edges and seeing the preview, are we okay with it? Or we want the fillet to be a bit bigger than this? You can just change the fillet length. So here the radius, by default it is 0.1 inches, so let's change it to 0.3, and then you can see that it has increased in size. So you can click on OK, and it has been applied. This is how the fillet looks like. This is fillet. So let's apply a chamfer to the bottom part. So rotate this, click on the drop down menu, and then click on chamfer. Now we will select the edges that we want to apply the chamfer here, and then let's say to this end, right? So click on OK, and the chamfer has been applied. So this is the chamfer, and then this is the fillet. You see the difference? This is chamfer, and then this is fillet. So we apply these features on the extruded boss. Okay, we can also apply it to the sketch. So let's say we didn't, have this fillet and then chamfer. Let's delete the fillet and then the chamfer. Select it by using the control. Let's say no. Sorry. Click on fillet, hold control, click on chamfer, right click, and then delete. Click on yes, yes. So we are back to default. We have deleted the chamfer and then the fillet. So now we want to apply the fillet and the chamfer to the sketch so that after extruding, the fillet will be automatically applied. Okay, so let's go to the boss extrude. Click on this arrow, click on the sketch, click on then edit sketch. So this, right? This is the default sketch. Now you want to apply a fillet to this end, a fillet to this end, and then a chamfer to this end and a chamfer to this end. So now let's come to the sketch. And then this time you can see that the graded out fillet is now what? It's not okay for us to apply. First it was graded out and now it's now appearing. So when you click on the drop down menu, you can see sketch fillet. You can see sketch chamfer. So select the sketch fillet first. Click on this and click on this corner. You can type in your fillet radius 0.3. Right. Click on OK. Now, OK. Now you want to apply the chamfer. So click on the drop down menu and then select sketch chamfer. Make sure this is a sketch chamfer and not a sketch fillet. Okay. So now we click on this end, right? And then this end. Click on OK. And then you can see that our fillet and chamfer has been applied to our sketch. Now I click on this. And then automatically, you see how it is. So our sketch, we applied a fillet here and then a chamfer here, and then you can see how it appeared in the extruded boss. You can see how it appeared in the extruded boss. Okay, so this is how you can apply a chamfer and a fillet to a sketch. All right. Okay, so you can always go back to make changes to a sketch. Okay, you can always go back, and it's much easier when you have applied dimensions to a sketch. So one most important thing that I have already said is that you have to apply dimension to your sketch, and you have to check your units and make sure that it's the right unit that you are using. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Okay, I forgot to talk about relations. So let's talk about relations. Okay, relations, and then that will be the last thing we are going to talk about before trying to model some basic parts like the pulley in the brackets. Okay, so let's open a new part. So far, new, part selected. Okay, so this is a new window, and I'm going to show you what I mean by relations. Okay, so I click on the front view, normal to, I want to sketch. So I want to use the line tool so that I can show you what I mean by the relation. So line tool, let me draw just something like this. Okay, continue it this way, then to this way, this way. Good. Now click on the OK here and then OK. And this is my sketch. This is my sketch. This is a sketch. This is a sketch. Okay. You can see how it is initially. This is what the sketch is. Now we are going to apply relations to make this sketch in the form of a straight rectangle. Okay, there's just a raw, I don't know what shape it is, more like a para or let's move on. Okay, so now I want to apply. So we can see that these two lines look diagonal. We want to make them vertical, right? But first, let's make the horizontal lines. These lines, they are also diagonal, but in a horizontal form. Let's make them horizontal first. So let's click on this, hold Control, and then select the bottom one. So that's how you can do multiple selection. Let's try again. Just click on this line, hold Control, the Control key, and then click on the bottom line. Now this menu appear, and you can see add relations. This is what I'm talking about. Add relations. You can see parallel, perpendicular, collinear, vertical, horizontal. Let's try the horizontal and then see what will happen. Horizontal. And then we have seen what the horizontal is, right? Okay, let's go back. Horizontal. You get me? Good. So let's try another feature. Let's try parallel and see what will happen. So parallel, and you see the lines will move parallel, but they aren't what? Horizontal. That's it. So being selecting parallel doesn't mean you're going to make your lines horizontal. Okay. So let's go back. Select the horizontal, click on OK, and then these lines have become horizontal. And automatically we can see that this being horizontal actually makes the diagonal vertical line, making them more like a vertical line, right? Okay, but we cannot confirm. It looks like it isn't. So let's just click on it. Click on this. Click on vertical, making it vertical, right? So now we have our straight rectangle, and that's nice. Initially, this is what we had. Initially, this is what we had. This is what we had. This is what we had. But after applying the relations, we got something like this, right? After applying relations, we got something like this. Okay, so this is called relations. So yes, so this is it. So back to default. With our sketch like this, we want to apply dimension to this and then this. Okay, and what we want to do is that we want those two horizontal lines to be equal. Okay, so we can apply a relation to that, so that in case we just apply a dimension to the top side, it will automatically be applied to what? The down or the bottom horizontal line too. Okay, so let's click on this line, hold Control for multiple selection, click on the bottom line. Here we can see equal on your left, click on equal, and then automatically this line has been moved to a horizontal line. Okay, it's not horizontal because we selected the equal. Okay, so now equal, click on OK. Now let's click on smart dimension, click on the right, drag it to the top, and then just check how this sketch is going to move. Let's click on let's type in 7, and right, it has been applied to the downward side too. Okay, this sketch is also 7. When you click on it, you see it on the left hand side. It's 7. Okay, did I apply any dimension to this side? No, but I applied it to this side, and automatically the same length has been applied to this side because I use the equal relation. Okay, we can also do same for the vertical line. So click on this line, hold Control, click on it, click on equal, and that's right. You can now apply dimension to one of the sides. So here, let's say 4, and then it has automatically been applied to this side to 4. That's right. So now that's it. We have our sketch. We know what our relations are. As time goes on, we will know what collinear is, what symmetric is, perpendicular is, and then parallel is. Let me show you what perpendicular means and what that relation does. Okay, so let's delete this sketch. Delete it right here. Okay, here. Click here. Delete. Okay, I've deleted the sketch. So I'm trying to show you what the I mean the perpendicular relation means. So I'll click on the front plane, line 2. Okay, so we're here. Let me show you something. When you click on the drop down menu, we have different lines: the midpoint line, the center line, and the line itself, the normal line. The center line, we'll be using it a lot. Yes, we'll be using the normal line too. I don't know of the midpoint line if you'll be using it, but you'll get to know. So the normal line has been selected. Let's say, okay, click here, move this, click here, move it like this. Okay, so we have these two lines. We want them to be perpendicular. What do? Select it, hold Control for multiple selection, click on this, and then we can see perpendicular here. Let's see what will happen. Now click on perpendicular. Do you get me? Are these lines perpendicular or not? They are. And one thing is that they are not going to be joined together. No, they're just going to be perpendicular. So when you trace this line here, you can see that this is a 90 degrees angle, right? Okay. So let's say in case I actually made it this way. Okay, let's say I started the second line from this point and then to here. This line, okay, now okay. Okay. So now this line is not a perpendicular line. I mean, this angle is not a 90 degrees angle. I wanted to make it 90 degrees. So I'll click here, hold Control, click perpendicular from the left, and then that's it. That's the perpendicular feature. That's very nice, right? Good, good, good. Let's try making this line vertical and see what will happen. And then this line horizontal. So click on this, make it vertical. Haha. We have a straight perpendicular sketch. Very nice. Let's try making this horizontal and see this horizontal. It moves with the other one because you have made or you have added a relation to it, and that relation is that it's supposed to be perpendicular. Okay, so if this one moves an angle, let's say 30 degrees down, that means the other one is also supposed to move 30 degrees downwards to correspond to the 90 degrees angle. Okay, so that's perpendicular feature, and that's how it works. So these are the basics, and then I think that's all right. mm, you will get to know how to use the trim features later. Let's go. Okay, so now I think we should start with the pulley. The pulley. Okay, so let's start with the pulley. I mean, I'm taking too much time with the basics. Let's start with the pulley. We move to the brackets and then later with the pipe. So the pulley system. Okay, so with the pulley, you let me start a new part. Okay, let me just delete this sketch and then do it here. Delete this sketch. Okay, so now a pulley. With a pulley, you already know what we mean by the pulley. Let me show you what we are going to be doing. This thing, something like this, is a pulley. Okay, this is a pulley. You can see what create a model of a pulley. So this is a pulley. So we are going to create something like this, but first we are not going to add this cut here and then these cuts here. We are just going to make a normal pulley. Later we will advance and make it this way. We will cut here, cut here, cut here, and then cut here too. I'm going to show you two ways by which you can make this pulley. Okay, so you'll be given something like this, and then the dimensions will be given, right? Good. Okay, so let's go. So now one thing you need to know is that for every model or part that you want to make, you need to know where you want to start from, the face that you want to start from. Okay, So um so I think we should start with something like this. Let's start from a simple pulley. Something like this one. Okay, let's start with something like this one. So with this, you are going to use just the circular feature circle to make this, not the three rectangles that I initially said. So I'm going to use the circles. So I've deleted everything. Let's use the front plane for this. I want to use the front plane. When I'm using the rectangles, you are going to use the right plane. But with this, um, let's use the front plane. Okay. So with the front plane selected, click on sketch. Okay. Now let's click on circle. Click on the origin, drag it out, release, click on OK. Smart dimension to the circumference, pull it up, type in, let's say 5. Good. Now click on OK. Now we have our sketch. Okay. And what do we have to do? We have to extrude. Now go to features. The sketch has been selected. If not, just come to the feature manager and click on sketch. Extruded boss. And then this preview appears. Now we want to extrude by, let's say, 1. 1 is too much. Sorry, 1. 1 is okay. So with 1, click on OK, and then the extrusion has been applied. Okay. So extrusion cannot only be applied to a box. It can also be applied to a circle, any shape. Okay. So now we have this. Now we are supposed to make this small circle too. So which face should we make it here or here? Here. Okay. So let's select the face and then click on sketch from here. Good. And then it becomes normal too. Now click on the circle again to the origin, drag it out. Good. Release smart dimension, and then let's make it 1.5. That's okay. Okay, no, 1.5 is too small. So I'll just come to my left, delete this, make it 2.5. Good. 2.5 is okay. Now click on OK. Now we come here. You can just click on features, extruded base. Good. Now you want to extrude by, I think 1 meter is okay. So we just click on what? No, let's make it 1.2. Okay. Good. Click on OK. Now we have this. This is basic. More like this. This is good. But there's something here. And what is that? This is a fillet. Okay. This is just a fillet. This is a raw shape. But they apply some fillet here, and a fillet here to make it this way. Sorry. To make it this way. But first there's a hole here. So let's make the cut. Let's make the cut. So the cut is here. So select this face, click on it, click on sketch, select the circle to the middle or the origin, drag it out. This side is okay. Remember to always dimension it. Good. Let's leave it to the default dimension. Okay. Now I want to cut. So I'll select what? Features. And then I'll go to what? Extruded cut. Features, then extruded cut because I want to cut. I want to cut through. I just want to cut through all. So I'll just click on here to the left. I don't want to use blind. So I'll click on through all. And then that's it. Now click on OK. Now my cut has been applied. And that's good. Now you only have to apply the fillet. So this is a fee. This is more like a part that we have already created. So we want to apply the fillet. So you cannot use a sketch to apply a fillet here. So you have to use the features. So you come to features, click on the fillet, select this, select this, select this. All right. Now, what is the radius that we want to use? Let's use 0.2. 0.2 is okay. So I'll click on OK. And now we are done. Oh my. Okay, okay, okay. Now we are done. You can see how it is. This is how it is. This is how it is. And then we are done. Okay, we are done with this pulley system using the circular form. So that's it. Now let's go to file new part. So I'm going to show you how to make the pulley system using the three rectangles. Okay, using the three rectangles. I'm going to show you how to do